Let's head on into the Smuggler's Cove and see what trouble awaits us. All right, so here we are, Counter 9, the Smuggler's Cove. And this is absolutely one of my favorite encounters in all of Caverns Deep. This thing is just packed full of awesome. So let's get into it. So on the base here, we've got 3 terrain trays. We've got a 6-inch terrain tray, a 12-inch terrain tray, and a 4x8-inch terrain tray. All of these are rigid metal sandwiched between 2 layers of neoprene, different texture on each side. These are the Dungeon of Doom water ones. We don't have our new ones yet. Janet's designing them right now. It's going to be beautiful. This side is going to be sort of dark river water. The other side is going to be stagnant cave water, just to give you 2 options. They're going to look super cool. We'll show them to you as soon as we have them. Along the outside of this room, we've got a whole bunch of bread and butter pieces, mostly trifecta walls doing negative space build on the trays here. We have the little LED, the little freestanding LED basalt wall, and its big brother, the big 6-inch wall. And these, of course, have modular LED sockets. So you can swap out your lighting. In the center of this here, we have our wall insert, the hidden nook wall insert. So we have our little cool secret compartment in there, so the smugglers can hide some treasure in their little cache. We've got a bunch of bread and butter pieces around the outside. And then in here, besides our wonderful stalagmites, including this awesome towering, we have our first set of bank pieces. So the banks are designed to do negative space just the way they are here. You can see they step down from regular floor height at 12 millimeters down to floor level. So we have a lot of options. Because we get to go down so far, we have a lot of options to make them irregular and interesting. So we have the regular straight, we have this curve, and then we have the convex, the inside curve. So together you can, with those 3 shapes, you can make all sorts of nice bank lines. And of course, where they transition from the banks to walls, we have the bank to wall transition pieces. We went over these in Encounter 3, the Bestial Cliff, so you can check them out there. And of course, these are designed to work with the banks. This nice transition from bank to wall. So then, sitting in here in the water, we have this amazing piece. We have our dock. So this is beautiful woodwork by Eli, our master of wood. It is 4 inches long, 2 inches wide without the pilings, and regular floor heights, 12 millimeters high. It sits at 12 millimeters on these pilings, so it sits right on a bank, so you can put it on the banks, you can put it on a regular floor, you can stack it on a regular floor piece. We have these gangplanks, we'll get to them in a sec, that you can use to transition up onto the docks. We'll talk about these in a moment. But you don't always just want one simple straight little pier, so we of course made these pilings are removable. They've got pole accessory pegs, and there are holes. We have holes around the whole perimeter. So there's 4 holes along each long side and 2 holes on each short side, each centered on the 1-inch mark. So you can put your pilings wherever you want. So if you wanted to put another dock up against this, up against here, you could put another one of these docks flush up against here. You could take this one out and put it in the middle. You can string them up. You have a lot of options of where you put these pilings, so you can customize your dock setup. Because they're removable, you can flip all the pilings around and invert them, and then have an elevated dock that comes up to 38 millimeters. So if you want to have a higher dock that comes off some elevation blocks or the like, if you're going onto a large ship, you can do that. And of course, you can use the gangplank to go down to a boat or to a lower level dock or whatnot. So there's a lot of options for some cool multi-height dock fun. Alright, so then from this dock, we have a nice little windy staircase up here to the Stairway to Violence. We'll get to that in a moment. So on the way up, we have these gangplanks. They're both the same. They're nice weathered wood, great texture on all sides. 3 inches long, 1 inch wide. You can use these to go from a ship to your dock. You can span them over here. There's lots of places you can end up finding for them. You can even put it on your side and use it as a barricade for a thing. Lots of neat uses for these. Right now, they're spanning between these natural bridge pieces. So let's take a look at these things. This is the first appearance of these. This is the hinge natural bridge base. And of course, it's a beautifully detailed sculpt by the team, as always, with thoughtful touches all around. The heights on this, it's got a lot of height synergy with our stepped elevation block. Can do some neat bits there. It fits really nicely up against any of the old caverns elevation blocks, so you can do some neat stuff with that. And what's particularly cool about it, besides it's got all these little stepping stones way up, is this piece is removable. So this will have a city builder peg, metal peg on the bottom. So you can take it off and use it just as an overhang piece if you want. You could build out a little cliff thing with a bunch of elevation blocks and have that hanging over. You could butt it up against something or not. Or you can put this thing on, and because it's pegged, it rotates. So you can position it as a big step, you can knock it around, put an angle. In this case, in this room, we have it off at a weird angle like this. It gives you an enormous amount of options, tons of maximum modularity. And this thing sits really nicely up against our natural bridge pedestal piece. Both these pieces come up to 62 millimeters high. That's their standard height for all of the natural bridge pieces. You can see this thing, as always, covered with depth, detail, and crazy dynamic Z-axis excitement. It's got a little 2-inch top here, plenty of danger ready to happen. And this could be a standalone piece in your room as is. It could be the bottom of a stalactite, it could be some weird platform. You can build, because it's flat on the back side, you can build right up against the back of it. So it's, some sort of thing like that if you want. There's options. And of course, these work really nicely with the curved natural bridge base that we saw in Encounter 7, the Mushroom Grotto. So these can all sit together to make a really nice arc like this, 62 millimeters high. You can just play with just these two together if you want. You can turn this sideways if you want to do and have a thing like that and have the other one come off this way. Lots of options for how you're going to connect these things, and it's going to create all sorts of havoc for your players, I'm sure. So what's this thing leading us up to? Let's take a look. So our treacherous gangplanks are leading up to, take this segment off, the Stairway to Violence topper. Just a magnificent sculpt by the team. I think everybody touches. Nina was all over this. Eli, Michelle, Toby. It's a big group effort. Really staggering amount of details all the way around. The core features are a bunch of these little natural steps leading up to the top. We've got modular LED sockets on either side, so you can swap those out. The top is a nice big flat area, and if in this case we have a trapdoor floor in there, but it's removable, it's modular. You can put whatever you want in there. If you want to keep going higher and higher, you can build up. We're giving you lots of options up here because this is a showpiece. What's happening up here? You come all the way up this thing, there's going to be violence at the top of the Stairway to Violence. So we want you to be able to choose your flavor of violence. You can have this trapdoor piece if you want. In there, a lot of options. This thing also we've got a flat side over here, so you can build it up against. If you want, you can connect it to any of your natural bridge pieces, so you can actually step right up and onto this for more ways to ascend to violence. Lots of ways you can build with it. If you want, you can build it up against a cliff. So you put that thing out. And let's see how it looks with its base. So in Encounter 8, the Savage Gorge, we saw this monster, the base for it. These two fit together so beautifully. So this is how they were originally designed to sit together like this. You can tell because this stalactite lines up with this stalagmite, and this one and this one. That's how they naturally formed. Creates a really great spirally staircase up, 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 up to violence at the top. But of course, you can put these. You can rotate this around. You can seal off make it a hard scramble to get up there. You can turn it around completely if you want. Sit it like that. If you want, you could also just block those stairs completely, put it like that, and throw your natural bridge piece up against it, because once sitting on the natural bridge, this step is also at 62 millimeters, which is our magic height, so our natural bridge goes up to it. So endless ways for you to get to violence. I mean, pretty amazing piece by itself or alone. By itself or alone? By itself or with its base. The real star of this room is this little rowboat. And I say little, but it's not really that little. We wanted to make this big enough to accommodate a party of adventurers. So you can see Beanslayer in here. There's plenty of room for 4, 6, maybe even 8 brave or dumb adventurers. This is, of course, once again, beautiful woodwork by Eli. The tiller is removable. It's a pole accessory. There's some beautiful accessories built in. We have some oars for it, which are pole accessories also. So you can pop in some oars. These are pole accessory holes, so you can put whatever you want in there. The pole on this one's broken. Something like that. And for the front of this thing, we have a beautiful ornament for the prow, this wooden dragon head. Gorgeous lines there. Look what we got going on. And of course, this being a pole accessory, this you can put in your dungeon, you can put in your castle, anywhere you have a pole accessory hole, you can pop this thing in to decorate anything you've got. Such a cool dragon head. Makes this boat look magnificent. And of course, because it's a pole accessory hole on the prow here, you can put any of your pole accessories in there. So we discovered the other night, if you want, you can take your arbalist from City Builder, and now you are ready to harpoon your foes. Or maybe just skewer them with a giant oversized bolt, whatever it is. Gives you some cool options. But you know what? That's not enough options, is it? What if this boat gets attacked and sunk? What if you want a bigger boat? Let's take that oar off. Well, you can break it apart because it's modular, because it's Dwarven Forge. So we have this amazing middle section piece here, which can go either way. Pop it in there. Boom, pop, boom, boom. So you now have extended your boat out. You can put your oars in there if you want to have a whole crew rowing. If you want, you've got these pole accessory holes. You can mount your arbalist on the side to shoot anybody that's flanking you. It's ripe for being a Viking longship. If you get multiples of these, you can keep stringing them out. You can make a ridiculously long boat. Enormous amounts of options for this boat. Lots of fun to be had with this thing. This is really the way to sail to adventure. And of course, it's available like everything in all of these encounters. There'll be a sub pack. There'll be just a boat pack for this, so you can buy this individually. If you just want the boat, if you just want the docks, you can get those individually. We're trying to give you lots of options to get the pieces you want. So hop on this boat and sail off to adventure. And that was the Smuggler's Cove. It's got those docks, it's got gangplanks, it's got LED pieces, it's got Manx the Rattling, it's got towering stalagmites, and it's got the boat, the modular boat. How do you not love this thing? The modular boat. All day long I could do that.